So, a few of you guys have asked in the comments,
What the hell?
have I made the switch to Ableton? Have I done something awful? Well, the answer is, I have. I'm sorry. So I've been making beats in FL Studio for 5 years. And I've learned a hell of a lot in that time using FL. But you know, sometimes you have to move on from things. And I'm going to highlight a few reasons why I have switched to Ableton. And reasons I believe it is better than FL Studio. Let me just start by saying all DAWs are just a tool to make good music. Everything FL can do, Ableton can do, and everything Ableton can do, FL probably can't. So the main reason I chose to switch to Ableton was the audio quantization inside. So when it comes to sampling or playing your own instruments in, you can drag and drop it into Ableton and it will automatically quantize that. I know FL Studio has their own quantization tool thing, but if you use that, someone probably needs to check your hard drive. So I'm going to download a sample and just show you how quickly it quantizes. So let's download something old, something that is recorded to tape. So I'm going to download this one and just show you how it works. And boom, as soon as you open up, look at those colors. And if it doesn't look this sexy, I don't want it. So it's as simple as you get the sample, you drag it and you drop it in, and it'll do this gray thing. Boom, quantize, look at that. And if you don't believe me, let's just take a section. So now let's compare that to FL Studio. So in FL, I'd have to manually change the BPM and chop it like this, and then find the other part, and then stretch it on time, and then stretch every middle bit where it's off tempo. And this is going to take me like 5-10 minutes to do. And if you can't get guitar on time like me, you can pick between any of your 1 and 500 takes and choose none and still record more, but they will be quantized. Number 2 is comping. So when I'm recording guitar parts, I can just loop a section, keep recording, and it will stack all the takes on top of each other. Whereas FL Studio has very linear recording. You kind of just have to record this way, and there's no problem with that. It just makes more sense to stack on top of each other. The workflow is so much faster for me in Ableton. I think the fact that everything is on the main screen just makes the workflow so much quicker. In FL, you kind of have to swap around between tabs. So I have this kind of Prince, Steve Lacy inspired track.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
And as you can see, everything is on this screen. So I have the MIDI, I can change the presets, the plugins, the timelines right here, even the sounds. Whereas in here, like in this project, you have like your patterns, then you have to go over here to mix them. You have to send them to the mixer, make sure it's the right one, make sure it's labeled. It just makes so much more sense in Ableton to have it all there in front of you. So that's another reason FL. So now one important thing for me, buses. So in FL Studio, I still don't think I even know how to bus. I think you like create a channel here, bus, and then you like click on things and take them off the master and send them somewhere. Whereas in Ableton, you can like select your drums, Command G, and then you've grouped them. You can put on drum bus, I don't know. Grouping and busing tracks is something I do so much more now I have Ableton. I use it a ton on my drum tracks just to get a cohesive sound. I can add saturation on everything all together or compress it all together. And a cool feature I've literally just found out about is how you can convert audio to MIDI. So I'll go into my Auburn drum kit. I can grab a drum break, and if I drag it into the MIDI channel, it'll ask me what I want to convert it into, and I want to convert it to drums. And then just like that, we literally have the whole drum groove. And it can be a really cool way to make your own drum breaks from professional drum tracks, see how they're recorded. You can do the same with audio. So I can take this lead, drag it into here, and it'll ask me how I want to convert it, and I'll click melody. FL may have this, but if it does, I'm not aware of it. And now for maybe Ableton's best feature, Command and F. So I have this beat here. So maybe it's missing something. Maybe I want a tambourine sound. So I can click Command and F and type in tambourine. And I have access to every single tambourine in my folder library. Loops. One shots. So maybe I want this tambourine loop. So I just drag it and drop it in. It'll auto-quantize itself. Maybe I want it to go half as fast. And and I can do that for anything, kicks, snares, plugins. And maybe I want some reverb on this, so I can search convolution reverb, and which is a super, super good reverb, by the way. I can put a spring reverb on it. All DAWs should have this feature because it is literally such a game changer. We all know about automations in FL Studio. If I want to automate something on a track, say this pad, say I want it to fade in, I have to right click, create automation clip. It opens its new track. Got a, whoops, there, whoa, no. It's just long and it's messy. And don't even get me started if you want to automate a third-party plugin. That shit is a whole other fucking ballgame. Whereas in Ableton, it's pretty easy. I have this DX7 and I have chorus on it, and maybe I want the chorus to come on at a certain part. So I just click on the automations up here. DX7, I'll go to the chorus dimension, and then I'll just click device on, and I can turn it on halfway through if I wanted to. It just makes a lot more sense for automation to have its own like section and stay on the same tracks. Now, let's go on to why FL Studio has better features. The number one thing, which is not a rumor, shit smacks in FL Studio. That soft clipper has something in it. In Ableton, it takes a little bit more time. My mixers were kind of ass for the first month or so, and I missed the soft clippers so much. And on the topic of the soft clipper, I do miss some of the plugins in FL Studio. The EQ is beautiful, and the fruity flanges, man, I miss that shit so much. And another thing which everyone knows, the piano roll in FL Studio is unbelievable. I mean, come on. It looks good, it's smooth, you can strum notes, you can randomize notes easily. I now see people using the stem splitter feature, which is an unbelievable thing for a DAW to have. And I do believe all DAWs will have it at some point, but FL Studio really got there before the rest. And another thing in Ableton, if you're recording people, there is no native auto-tune. In FL Studio, they have their own one. And it might not be the best, but at least it's an option. So if you're going into sessions and recording artists, that may influence your decision on which DAW to use. So those are some of the reasons why I switched from FL Studio to Ableton after 5 years. All DAWs do almost the same thing. And remember, no DAW is better than the others, except Ableton. That is the best one.